Welcome back to Caroline Effect. Today we're uncovering one of the most overlooked forms of communication a woman has, her hug. What may seem like a simple embrace can quietly reveal trust, attraction, hesitation, emotional safety, and feelings she may never put into words. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a woman's hug the same way again. What if I told you that one simple hug can reveal more about a woman's feelings than an hour-long conversation? Most men pay attention to her words, but they completely miss what her body is quietly saying. Today, you'll discover the hidden psychological meaning behind the way she hugs you. And once you understand these signals, you'll never see an embrace the same way again. There's a moment in many relationships that most men never fully understand. It's not because they aren't observant or because they don't care. It's because almost no one teaches them what it really means. That moment happens when a woman wraps her arms around you. At first, a hug seems ordinary. It can be a greeting, a goodbye, or a simple sign of affection. But if you've ever noticed her holding on just a little longer, pulling away unexpectedly, or resting against you in a way that stayed on your mind long after it ended, there may have been much more happening beneath the surface. A hug is often more than physical contact. It can reveal emotions that words never express. Many women are taught to be careful with what they say and to keep certain feelings hidden. The body, however, often communicates what the mind tries to control. Her nervous system reacts naturally, and those reactions can quietly reveal trust, uncertainty, attraction, or emotional conflict. If you've ever replayed a hug in your mind, wondering why it felt so meaningful, there's a reason. Your mind may not have understood it, but your instincts recognize that something deeper was being communicated. The first thing to understand is that a woman's hug is rarely meaningless. Even a friendly embrace can carry emotional layers. It may reflect comfort, curiosity, admiration, attraction, caution, or even feeling she hasn't fully accepted herself. While it may seem like a simple gesture, her body is constantly processing information. Every small movement, every shift in posture, every squeeze or hesitation tells a story. In just a few seconds, her mind is asking silent questions. Do I feel comfortable with him? Can I trust him? Do I enjoy being close to him? Should I let my guard down or protect myself? Most of these thoughts happen automatically, without conscious awareness. They appear through body language instead of words. The warmth, tension, distance, or softness you feel often reflects what she is experiencing emotionally. A hug is also a quiet evaluation. It isn't about whether you're trying to impress her, it's about how you make her feel. She notices your energy almost instantly. Are you relaxed or nervous, confident or unsure, present with her or mentally somewhere else? These subtle signals shape her emotional experience long before either of you says another word. Sometimes the way she hugs hints at how she unconsciously sees your place in her life. If her body stays angled away, she may still be protecting herself emotionally. If she naturally settles into your embrace, even for a brief moment, it often suggests that her nervous system feels safe around you before her mind has fully caught up. When her hands rest higher across your back, she may be seeking greater closeness. If they remain low, stiff, or distant, she may still be uncertain. Even a short but firm hug can be misunderstood. It isn't always rejection. Sometimes it's the response of someone who feels something real but isn't ready to fully reveal it. Many men spend too much time analyzing conversations while overlooking what happens during moments of genuine closeness. Yet a woman's body often speaks more honestly than her words. That brief pause before her arms reach you can reveal more than an entire conversation. Her body often decides how she feels before her thoughts do. If you've ever walked away feeling unexpectedly hopeful, confused, or emotionally moved, it may be because your nervous system responded to signals hers was quietly sending. Every detail matters. The way her hands rest against your back, the amount of pressure she uses, the distance she keeps, and how naturally she moves all reflect her emotional state. If her touch is light and cautious, she may still be deciding whether she feels emotionally safe. If she embraces you firmly, it often communicates comfort and trust, without saying a single word. When she gently steadies you or relaxes completely into the moment, it can reveal a level of vulnerability that isn't offered to everyone. The most genuine hugs usually come without planning. They aren't performances, they're instinctive expressions of emotion. They reveal honesty that words sometimes cannot. Many men miss these signals because they become trapped inside their own thoughts. They ask themselves, does she like me? Am I reading too much into this? Meanwhile, the answer may already be unfolding through her body language. A hug isn't a mystery to solve, it's a form of communication. She may smile politely or tell you everything is fine, but during an embrace, her body often reveals what she truly feels. Some hugs stay with you for days because they carry emotional tension. When she lingers for an extra moment before letting go, it can reflect an inner conflict. Part of her wants to stay close, while another part fears becoming emotionally vulnerable. Her body moves toward connection even as her mind questions it. That push and pull isn't accidental. It's often an honest expression of feelings she hasn't fully processed. There are also embraces that feel slightly distant while still carrying emotional weight. She isn't necessarily cold or uninterested. She may simply be carrying emotional burdens of her own. Those hugs can come from someone who genuinely cares, but is struggling internally with fears, uncertainty, or unresolved emotions. Then there are the effortless hugs, the ones where she relaxes completely, her shoulders soften, and everything feels natural. Those moments are less about attraction alone and more about emotional safety. They show trust, comfort, and the quiet confidence to let someone close without pretending to be anyone else. The most important thing is to notice the pattern, not just one single moment. A woman's hug often changes as her feelings change. An embrace that was once brief and guarded may gradually become warmer and longer as trust grows. On the other hand, if her hugs become shorter or emotionally distant after once feeling close, it may signal that she's becoming more protective of her heart. Sometimes the biggest changes happen without a single word being spoken. A hug that slowly becomes softer, longer, and more natural often reflects growing emotional connection. One that becomes hesitant may reveal fear, disappointment, or emotional withdrawal. And perhaps the hardest truth of all is this. Sometimes a woman gives one final hug while silently wrestling with a decision only she knows. She may be deciding whether to stay, create distance, or let the relationship go. In those moments, her embrace isn't just saying goodbye to the moment. It may be revealing a quiet emotional struggle that words could never fully explain. Sometimes a hug feels different the moment it happens. It feels heavier, more meaningful, almost as if she's trying to remember what it feels like to be close to you. In that quiet moment, she may be asking herself questions she never says out loud. Can I truly trust this man? Could he be part of my future? Or am I hoping he'll become the person I'm looking for? That's why a hug is rarely just a casual gesture for a woman. It often reflects what's happening beneath the surface, her trust, her fears, her comfort, and the emotional value she places on the connection. The men who understand this don't focus only on conversations. They pay attention to presence. They notice energy. They recognize that emotions are often communicated long before they're spoken. Women naturally respond to someone who understands what isn't being said just as much as what is. The next time she hugs you, whether it's soft, tight, nervous, or lingers for an extra second, don't rush to create a story in your mind. Simply notice it. Feel it. Let yourself observe instead of overanalyzing. Her body may be expressing feelings she hasn't found the words to explain. No two hugs are exactly the same, because no relationship stays emotionally frozen. Her feelings shift over time, and her embrace often changes with them. One hug may reveal growing trust, another may reflect uncertainty. One may show emotional closeness, while another quietly signals that she's becoming more guarded. Her embrace becomes a living reflection of where her heart is in that moment. When you begin noticing these patterns instead of isolated moments, you gain a much clearer understanding than words alone can provide. A lingering hug, a cautious embrace, a firm squeeze, or a gentle touch all become pieces of a much larger picture. Together they reveal how safe she feels, how connected she is, how vulnerable she's willing to be, and how deeply she is allowing herself to trust you. A woman's hug is rarely random. It's often an instinctive expression of emotions she may not fully understand herself. If you learn to recognize those subtle differences, you'll begin seeing what many people completely overlook. Some hugs end almost as quickly as they begin, as though she's protecting herself from becoming too emotionally exposed. Others seem to carry unexpected weight, pulling both of you into a moment that feels unusually honest. Then there are the unforgettable hugs that last just a little longer than expected. Those moments often reveal affection, hope, emotional conflict, or even quiet fear. She may still be uncertain, but in that brief embrace, her body is often more honest than her words could ever be. Learning to understand this quiet language changes the way you experience connection. Men who pay attention don't become trapped in endless guessing. They begin recognizing the meaning hidden in small details, the way her hands rest against you, the direction her body naturally moves, the warmth of her embrace, and how those things change over time. Every hug tells a slightly different story about her emotional world. An embrace is much more than physical contact. It's a conversation without words. It can communicate comfort, caution, attraction, vulnerability, emotional safety, and growing attachment all at once. It reveals not only how she feels about you, but also how her nervous system experiences your presence. Perhaps the most important truth is this: genuine emotion is difficult to fake through physical closeness. A woman's body often reveals what her mind is still trying to organize. A brief hesitation, a tighter squeeze, relaxed shoulders, or a little extra distance can all quietly express feelings that remain unspoken. When you respond with calmness, confidence, and emotional steadiness, instead of overthinking every detail, you're communicating in a way that naturally creates trust. You're responding to her emotional experience rather than simply reacting to her words. So the next time she hugs you, give yourself permission to slow down. Don't immediately search for answers. Don't let your thoughts drown out what you're actually feeling. Notice the pressure of the embrace, the rhythm of the moment, the way she moves toward you or away from you. Sometimes those quiet details say far more than any conversation ever could. And before you leave this video, think about one hug you've never forgotten. Maybe it happened years ago, yet you can still remember exactly how it felt. Ask yourself why that moment stayed with you. What emotions did you sense? What was her body quietly expressing that words never explained? That memory isn't simply nostalgia, it's an opportunity to understand connection on a deeper level. A hug is often emotion made visible. It carries trust, vulnerability, affection, uncertainty, and hope within a single moment of closeness. Once you begin seeing it this way, you'll never experience a woman's embrace in quite the same way again. You'll notice the honesty in a gentle touch, the trust behind a sincere squeeze, and the vulnerability hidden inside a lingering pause. More importantly, you'll stop relying only on words and begin understanding the quiet emotional language that creates real connection. That is the true power of a woman's hug. It's a silent reflection of what she feels, what she fears, and the people she allows into the deepest parts of her heart. The next time a woman hugs you, don't rush to judge the moment or search for instant answers. Slow down, stay present, and notice what her body is quietly communicating. Sometimes the deepest emotions are expressed without a single word. Understanding those silent signals won't just help you understand her better, it will help you build stronger, more genuine connections based on trust, emotional awareness, and respect. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to Caroline Effect, and share in the comments the hug you'll never forget and why it stayed with you.